And for everybody who's out there thinking of using VPNs, let me just say to you directly, verifying your age keeps a child safe, keeps children safe in our country. So let's just not try and find a way around.
One site directed British users to sign a petition urging Parliament to repeal the law alongside the comment, "Your gov is dumb." UK's age verification is a disaster, and this is what I said in my last video, and now we have an update. Well, actually, we had an update a few weeks ago, but now I'm back from Europe, and I can actually make a video on it, so let's talk about it. Very quick TLDR, I would recommend watching the original video if you haven't already, but pretty much the UK has said you need to verify your age, some of which have literally already been caught tracking users online. This hurts people's privacy, this hurts people's freedom of information, it's a slippery slope, it starts with porn and leads elsewhere. We're already seeing this in states like Mississippi, which have also passed similar laws, and now we have social media sites being removed. The analogy they keep saying is that accessing things like pornography on the internet are no different than accessing a bar if you're under 21 or in every other sensible nation, 18. But I think this is disingenuous because as we're seeing, especially in the US, these things might start with porn, but they extend to the rest of the internet. So this to me is more like requiring ID to get into a library rather than getting into a bar, which I think is pretty ridiculous given the nature of the open internet. But let's get into the update that I really wanted to talk about here, and this is from TechDirt. They quote a lot from the Washington Post, but the Washington Post has democracy die in darkness by also not giving you actual articles that aren't paywalled, which is always ironic. But pretty much, there is now hard evidence of what internet governance experts have been warning about for years. These laws don't protect children and systematically drive users from these regulated, compliant platforms to unregulated, non-compliant ones. The first issue they call out is that this is actually really difficult to regulate, and the law is written very loosely, and maybe only the biggest players are actually going to have to comply. They found that out of 90 of the largest sites, 14 of them simply didn't even comply with the order, which means they saw a disproportionate amount of traffic increase because they're going to be less targeted by the government than the largest players. Non-compliant sites are also very keen on this, and they're literally instructing users how to navigate around the age gate by using a special browser called Tor, which was built to browse what's known as the dark web. One site directed British users to sign a petition urging Parliament to repeal the law alongside the comment, "Your gov is dumb." This site actually goes into it in a very nice blog where they also talk about how they feel disproportionately impacted because they're large. Whether or not you agree on whether this industry should exist, they actually document how this is happening worldwide in the US, in France, of course in the UK they talked about, in the European Union, and it's a very interesting conclusion and a TLDR where they call this idiocracy. And it's funny because this has come full circle now where people are legitimately using tools like VPNs and Tor and all of these privacy tools we've been shilling for years are now being finally talked about because of censorship circumvention. This is what it is. It's called censorship. And again, this is going to continue to impact more services than just this perhaps controversial industry that many people might not agree should be there. But this is more important than that. I don't even think that the industry might be a net good for society, but that doesn't take away from the fact that once we start banning this kind of thing, we're already starting to see it impact other stuff. And like I said, this poses legitimate privacy concerns. A firm claiming to provide double-blind age assurances services to sites adopting to France's online safety laws have been found to be collecting unauthorized user data. And this isn't just the time or date on your phone. This is all the data that you're uploading to verify your identity. Using these people's same argument about needing to be carded to get into your bar, imagine if the bouncer at the bar took your ID, wrote down all the information, and then started selling it to people on the street after you left. That would be a no-go. Sorry, I'm getting really worked up over this. But they did say, despite claiming to offer double anonymity options, whatever that means, apparently just anonymity isn't good enough, you can be double anonymity. They also collect the URL of the video the user attempts to watch, and when users select the selfie verification method, their webcam stream is transmitted directly to Amazon Web Services, which is listed as the provider of selfie-to-document verification, which means Bezos also gets to see everything that's going on. And of course, that's not good enough. You also have to disclose your email address to complete the process, which is needed to create an AgeGo account. And this article says the same thing. Data is now showing that UK residents are headed to unregulated sites in droves. The large providers lost a ton of people. The smaller ones with less regulations saw a huge uptick.
Just prove your age, make the internet safer for children, make it a better experience for everyone. That's surely what we should aspire to in this country.
You know, other people that have probably been seeing an uptick, people like Proton VPN and all the VPNs. Our website, techlore.tech/VPNs, has a VPN chart. It's fully open source. It doesn't recommend garbage. So it has very privacy respecting providers like iVPN, Mullvad, Proton, and Windscribe. All 4 of those are open source, and you can go ahead and compare them. This is community source, so if you see any mistakes, please contribute. And a very underrated tool that I didn't think would come in clutch for this was actually NextDNS. I've made a whole masterclass on NextDNS. It's a very easy tool. It's free to use, and if you go into the settings on the top right here and you scroll down, you're actually going to see a beta feature, which is bypass age verification, which will automatically bypass some of this stuff. I am not in the UK nor in a location where this is a problem for me, so I can't really verify how well this works. But if you're not a VPN user and you just want to maybe change your DNS provider, NextDNS does have this feature built in, which may or may not work. Again, I haven't confirmed. If you've used it, please let me know in the comments. Besides all of this, if you want a foolproof way to access things privately and with censorship resistance, the Tor browser is always a pretty safe bet. So let's bring this all together, you and me. UK, what the hell are you doing? This is dumb. You should see the results of what's happening. People are just moving over to services that are probably less safe. This isn't keeping children safer. This isn't keeping people safer. This is just increasing the amount of control over the internet that governments are starting to get. All of you out there need to be paying attention, and it's easy to go after just the UK, but this is happening in the US, it's happening in France, it's happening in the rest of the EU, it's happening in Australia. This is a global fight, and lots of these countries are trying to pass this all at once, and we need to step forward and do something about it. And what can you do about it? Contact your politicians. Go to our external resources. There are digital rights organizations that you can donate to that are fighting a ton of this stuff. And in terms of what you can do yourself, VPNs are good. I showed you NextDNS, which might work for some of you, and you always have the Tor browser. And of course, I just made a video on the top 7 encrypted services, which is designed to get you all to start fighting age verification laws as well as anti-encryption laws, which we're also seeing. So check out that video. It's going to walk you through, no matter how new to this you are, how to get started with encrypted tools. Many of them are free to use and they're easy to get started with. So check that out, and I'll see you next time on Techlore. Leave your feedback below. I'm curious what you guys think. And thank you to our supporters. You can also figure out how to support us down there as well. See you soon.